to my channel, welcome. What I like to do is talk about anything and everything classic rock because I love it. So let's go ahead and jump on and dive on into some classic rock news. We all know that Sharon Osborne is just the baddest of bad women in rock and roll, right? I mean, her husband's Ozzy Osbourne. There is not a better person to rep and take care of that man than Sharon Osborne. So recently, back in May, she did not allow Ozzy to go ahead with Black Sabbath and receive the Lifetime Grammy Achievement Award. Here's the reason why. Because when I first read that, I'm like, why wouldn't she allow him to go and receive that amazing Lifetime Achievement Award? Well, even though it was called a Lifetime Grammy Achievement Award, it wasn't presented at the Grammy Awards, you know, the one that's shown on CBS. Instead, it was being presented at another show, the Grammy Salute to Music Legends, which wasn't even going to air live that night. It was going to be shown later on PBS. Not that there's anything wrong with PBS, but I mean, come on, we're talking about Black Sabbath here. They definitely should have been given that award at the real Grammys, right? So Sharon said, that's horse crap. He's not going, and that's it. She sounds way better than I do, so I apologize, Sharon. Do not kick my butt. Anyway, so we have to say, you know what? Good thing Sharon is beside Ozzy. She just stands by her man, and that's why we all love Sharon flippin' Osborne. Go, girl. Tell them what's up. ACDC recently came back to social media after being off of it since 2017, since Malcolm passed away. What they're doing is they're asking fans to just join them in the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the release of Highway to Hell. Now, there's a whole bunch of speculation and rumors and gossip that's been going around since last year when they were seen in August at Bryan Adams' recording studio in Canada with Phil Rudd and Brian Johnson. Now, Brian, we know, had to leave because he had very severe hearing problems. His doctor said, either you want to keep your eardrums or you don't. You need to get off the stage and stop. And Phil Rudd, he was fired back in 2015 for various reasons. So to see those two guys together with the rest of the band at Bryan Adams' studio, people knew there was something going on, right? So is there a new album, a new song, a new few singles, a movie? What is going on with ACDC? So a fan also just released the other day, a venue in Munich has been reserved for an ACDC concert next summer. All right, okay. Will this be their final farewell tour? And are they going to do a worldwide tour? Probably. Why wouldn't they? So again, nothing is carved in stone for that Munich date. But again, these bands have to book way in advance so they make sure that they get the venue. But imagine ACDC again with Phil Rudd and Brian Johnson. I mean, that's going to be a pretty amazing show. So we definitely know that something is brewing in the ACDC camp, and I am excited to find out what comes next. 50 years ago, Neil Armstrong with Apollo 11 touched down on the moon. The big ball of cheese. And I love cheese. That happened 50 years ago, but the same night that Neil Armstrong was bouncing around on the moon, Joe Walsh and the James Gang played alongside Led Zeppelin for the first time ever. I mean, that's pretty iconic in itself. I mean, Neil Armstrong walking on the moon or Joe Walsh playing with Led Zeppelin. Joe Walsh. I'm just kidding. I mean, the moon thing is very, very important in history. And drummer Jimmy Fox has said, you know what, that was a monumental moment for us. And just the fact that Led Zeppelin sounded exactly like the album. And let's talk about this for a second. Now, when I was a kid and I got the chance to go to a couple of concerts here and there, of course, my mom and dad took me because I was a kid, right? I always wanted the artist to sound exactly like the album. It was so important to me. And if they didn't, I'm like, oh my God, they were so bad. Then I grew up and I understood that it's okay to not sound exactly like the album. It's okay to have a live sound. Again, we all have to grow up. So maybe 50 years from now, we can all sit back and watch Joe Walsh and Robert Plant sitting in a crater together on the moon. Because you know that's going to happen. They probably won't be here to do it, but maybe we will. Doubt it. So Queen with Adam Lambert as their frontman just started off their summer tour, and Adam is so shiny. Gold and shiny, and the backdrop, the stage is so shiny. Like if a squirrel literally went into that venue, any venue that Queen's at, they're not going to be able to focus on what is going on because it's shiny. But of course, Adam sounds amazing. Brian May and Roger Taylor are just tearing it up for fans. And as a matter of fact, Brian May just celebrated his 72nd birthday. Now, let's think back. 1968, he started his band Smile. They broke up 2 years later, and in 1970, he formed Queen, the iconic Queen. They got voted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. Millions and gazillions of albums later were sold, and they are the best-selling band of all time. So if you have a ticket to see Queen this summer, lucky you, you are going to have a great time. I guarantee it. Oh my gosh, so why don't I have a Steve Perry shirt on? Well, because I do love Tom Kiefer too, I have to say. I call him my Tommy, just like Bret Michaels is my Bretty, and Steve Perry is just God. That's what Steve Perry is. So this morning, I have to say, I got in my car, and when Nobody's Fool comes on, it's a good day. It is going to be a good day. So I said, I'm whipping out my Cinderella shirt, which I, as a matter of fact, got at a yard sale. I paid $1 for this shirt. And if you can see it, I don't know, it's from 1988 and 89, Long Cold Winter Tour. I mean, this is a good shirt right here. And I have to say, too, Tom did this. He released this CD the year before last, The Way Life Goes, and it's cool, right? You got 2 CDs in here. It's really like nifty. And he does sing Nobody's Fool with Lizzie Hale. Really amazing, amazing version of it. And I did ask him out. I will link my interview with Tom up here. Actually, I would like to ask Lizzie myself, how was it singing with Tom Kiefer? I mean, Hailstorm is huge. Just her being able to sing with him, I don't know if I could. I think I would have cried. I really do. And actually, when I interviewed him, I don't know how I got through it because I'm fascinated by Tom Kiefer. Anyway, so that's on here, and Nobody's Fool piano vocal is on here. But I have to say, my favorite song on this CD, The Way Life Goes, is With a Little Help from My Friends. He covered that. Joe Cocker originally did it, of course. And we do play it on our station quite a bit. I met him at the Woodstock Fair back in, I think it was 2014. He's a very tall man, very, very tall, and they were so good. So again, I'm just throwing Tom Kiefer out there. I don't have any news on him, haven't heard much about him, but I just had to put him out in the universe because you know why? He's great, and his band is great, and they are great. Tom Kiefer with his band are, I love them. I just do. And he's really tall. He really is. My Tommy. Am I hyperventilating? Kind of. Because you know why? You know why I'm hyperventilating? Because there's Steve Perry news. I couldn't believe it. And I am not joking. This is not made up. I am not pretending here. Oh, before I go on, I just have to say something else. I'm just going to throw something else out there. So, I did an interview with Lou Gramm a few months back, right? Interviewed him in Vegas. And also a shout out to the Lou Gramm fan club members. Oh my gosh, like you guys are so kind to me and I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Edna Brazil, you're awesome. You guys are great. It was like 10:30 at night. I'm doing my research. I'm working on my radio show. And my name pops up on blabbermouth.net. Oh my gosh, I love Blabbermouth. Of course I refer to them all the time. And they posted my interview with Lou Gramm on there. So again, I will put that card up here, my interview with Lou. And thank you, Blabbermouth. That was so exciting for me. It was a total geeker moment because that totally made my day, I have to say. So again, shout out to blabbermouth.net. Thank you. Did I say that there was Steve Perry news? I did. Let's get back to that, right? I'm just gonna get comfortable. There was this whole thing going on. The Phil Brown, Steve Perry saga. A total saga. Gosh, I wish I had some chocolate to eat right now because I would totally eat it while I'm telling the story. Anyway, so Phil Brown recorded a bunch of demos with Steve in Phil's garage in 1991. Imagine that. Steve Perry's in your garage. I mean, he was just with Journey, like, for 100 years. And now he's in your garage. So anyway, they were recording for Perry's 1994 release of For the Love of Strange Medicine. So they had all these demos. Now, one of those demos, I guess, made it onto that 1994 album. So Phil had all of these demos, and Steve's like, can you just not release those demos, please? Phil said, man, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you back. I am not going to release these demos. You know where this is going. You already know. If you love Steve, you already know. Steve releases Traces last year. Here comes Phil Brown. We don't know where Phil Brown came from, but there he is. And he's kind of making it look like he was involved with the whole Traces release because Phil was releasing his own thing, his own music. Steve's like, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. I gotta call my lawyer because I'm going to sue you because you are not going to release those demos because you said you weren't going to. So a legal battle, of course, ensued. And then in June, they were supposed to go to court. So that was last month. And then Steve, his rapper, whoever talks for Steve, comes out and says Steve has dropped everything against Phil, but they're going to have a mediation meeting. And I am not kidding you. I am not kidding. This is not made, because I don't make stuff, I just don't make stuff up. I think really weird things in my head, but I'm not a liar. I cannot do that. So I today was planning on talking about Steve and Phil because I hadn't heard anything about the mediation. So I was going to bring up the fact, hey, have any of you guys heard about the mediation between Steve and Phil? Because I haven't heard or seen or read anything. And then this news comes out that they're going back to court. Phil, what are you doing? Just hand over the tapes. And let's face it, if they've been sitting in his garage, not good. You probably can't even hear them anyway. Let's talk about that. If it's warm, moist, tape's probably bad. So what if there's nothing on those tapes? What if they're bad tapes? What if they're ruined tapes? Steve, you got nothing to worry about. I wouldn't even worry about it. Yeah, he probably has to worry about it. So there is Steve news. There was actually Steve news today. I swear if I had something to eat, I would be eating it because I'm not excited for him, I'm sad because I don't want to see Steve going to court. You know what I mean? I'm excited I had something to talk about Steve Perry. Something different than I'm obsessed like everybody else on the planet. You know what I mean? It's just nice to have a refreshing piece of information. So Steve Perry and Phil Brown are going back to court. There is your Steve Perry news for the day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate you coming along on this classic rock news journey with me. Why not? What else we got to do? I hope you have a fabulous day. Have a great day, a great night, a great weekend, a great everything. And as always, remember, most importantly, stay positive, be happy, listen to classic rock, and keep rocking.